Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, PK, all the way from Tucson. How you doing today?
Absolutely fabulous. What could I ask for? A beautiful day, the sun shining. Oh,
I know.
Perfect.
Yes.
Till it gets hot.
Yeah, but you've got that beautiful vista always to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, it's starting to get warm here, believe it or not.
Well,
cheers, yes.
See how you are? You tried to take my thunder.
Oh, no, it'll never take your thunder. Never. Because I was going to tell you, I went out to do some gardening. And when I came back in, I must have had 50 mosquito bites.
Oh, that's not good.
It was horrible. I thought I was going to lose my mind. And mosquitoes usually don't like me. But for some reason, that's what happened. And oh my gosh, it was miserable. If anybody has a good cure for the itching mosquito bites besides Benadryl.
Alcohol was the only thing I could remember. My grandmother used to dab me with alcohol all the time.
That help? Oh, God.
Well,
if you see me scratching, you'll know why.
She's got fleas.
No, that'd probably be better, I think, than mosquito bites. But anyway.
They're easier to deal with because you can smack those. You can see them.
Right. Now, do you have anything to share with us today?
Well, I'm just going to say, because I love the fact of the guest that we have, and I want to have people have more time with her. So all I'm going to say, this is the end of our month of working our butts off, because that's what the 4 is all about. Work-related issues, and more work. So I'm going to say what I got to say until next week, because we'll be in a major change.
Oh, I hope it's going to be good. Mm-hmm. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
So I wanted to save the good stuff for later and have the good stuff with our guest today.
Yes.
Being able to talk with some of our people.
Oh, I know. She's generously offered to do free readings for people. We may get to do a couple of short meditations, and so people can learn a little more about Theta healing and what it is. But I am as excited as you are to get Karen on the show. So
definitely
introduce this lovely lady that we're lucky enough to have with us tonight. Karen Abrams is a prominent Theta healing master healer. She's also a gifted intuitive and international best-selling author. And she's beautiful. Look at that picture. My God.
Mm-hmm.
She uses remote sessions to delve deep into belief systems and programs, revealing the seed of diseases and blocks to help remove them, allowing clients to feel free. Karen has helped entrepreneurs and professionals release self-sabotaging habits and gain confidence, financial security, and personal fulfillment. Now, she's been on lots of podcasts. We're lucky to have her here with us tonight. She's going to be talking to us about what Theta healing is. And you can call in tonight if you want a reading while we're live on the air. The telephone number is 855-472-5483. Again, that's 855-472-5483. So feel free to call in and get Karen's help. I mean, I want some help.
Oh, God, yeah. So do I. Gee, I really do.
You really need it, too. And I do, too. We're going to just open up this phone line, and you guys can call in, and we'll be excited to take your call. And we're going to fit those meditations in also with Karen's help. I could keep reading her bio. She's got so many good things to say, so many things we can say about Karen. It's great. And instead, we're just going to bring her on the show. So, Karen, welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
It's great to have you.
It's our pleasure.
Yes. So please start with how you got involved with Theta Healing, and then we all need a definition of what that is too.
Okay. Why don't I start out with that? That'd probably be a good place to start. So Theta Healing is a simple meditation that you do where you connect to God, source, the universe, or your inner wisdom, whatever that name is for you, so that you can receive a healing. When you make that connection, you go into, as the name says, Theta Healing, the theta brainwave. And so you access your subconscious mind and you marry that with this divine energy. And we figure out what are the core beliefs that are messing with your life. I'm nothing, I'm worthless, nobody loves me, right? My life's never going to change. Everybody passes me by, those kinds of things. And you, with your permission, we can energetically change those beliefs and also access through your subconscious mind your trapped emotion. So anger, trauma, shock, betrayal, all those things that we've experienced in our lifetimes, and beyond that, anything that you've inherited in the collective. So it goes to a very deep place. And what happens is when you can access those emotions, you can release them and replace them with unconditional love and understanding and compassion. And what happens is when you change your beliefs, when you change your most damaging beliefs into your most powerful and positive ones, and you can transform these old emotions that have become toxic in your body into your most empowering ones, you just start feeling better and lighter. And as you know, when you start feeling better and lighter, you start making decisions in support of yourself. Your boundaries get better, right? Though your dynamics in your relationships start to change in your favor. And the best thing, at least to me, so I'm going to be biased right here in this moment, I shall be biased about this, that those invisible barriers that are holding you back from taking the actions that you need to take. You're like, I know I need to call that person that could help me get my business going. I know I need to clean my office, all those sorts of things. And you don't do them, those barriers start coming down, and it just gets easier to take the actions that you need to move yourself forward. Because one of the things that I talk about is, I know I'm an energy healer, but it's about energy and action. And when you do them both, we're not going to get it just by meditating in a cave, and everything's going to change for us. Right. We got to be in the world, and in the world, we need actions too. And when both of those things align, great things happen in short periods of time.
That's wonderful.
Good to know.
Like magic. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what brought you to Theta Healing?
Well, I had a friend of mine, I'll put it to you that way, who was working with the founder of Theta Healing. Her name is Diana Steibel. And I saw her change her life in a period of time in all the major areas. Just to give you an example, her health was unable, doctors couldn't help her with it. Okay. And she had a lot of anger issues and she had an MBA, but she was alienating all her clients. So her business wasn't really going anywhere. And she had this long-term relationship that wasn't going where she wanted it to be, even though they got along very well. She wasn't getting her to the altar, and that's really where she wanted to be. And over this period of time, I saw that she could transition that relationship into a beautiful friendship without even having, without skipping a step. It was really amazing. Not even like that separation or anything, no anger. It just seamlessly went into that. I saw her health begin to change, which was really great. And then she started making money. So all that knowledge, like we were talking about before, all that knowledge that she had about, how to work with Fortune 500 companies and all of that stuff that she wanted to apply to her own business, she couldn't apply it before. But now, because of all of these clearings and all of these changes that were happening, she was able to do it, and her business just took off. And so when that happened, I got very curious, because that was my biggest challenge. And I was like, how'd she do that? That's real world stuff. That's money. And so she hosted Vienna when Vienna came to Los Angeles, and I took the beginning class for Theta Healing. And it was a remarkable class. And I remember afterwards that I could breathe easy. And I remember going around in my apartment at that time and going like this, like I'm doing the breathstroke in front of me. I didn't know what all this was. And I had anxiety for 6 years up to this point. And I had been going to a therapist for a year and a half who was absolutely remarkable. I love him to this day. I love him. And he had gotten it down with me. We'd worked together, and we got it from like an 11 to about a 3. But a 3 still meant that I woke up terrified and my body shook all day long.
Oh my
Now,
God.
nobody else could see that, but I could. And I knew that that was happening. And all of a sudden, when I could breathe easy, and I'm doing this funny little stroke in my funny little swimming stroke in my apartment, I realized, oh my gosh, my anxiety is gone. And it was the first time in 6 years that my body had been out of fight or flight. Because any moment that I felt calm and I noticed it, it would go back. You know, your nervous system's like, no, you're a nervous person. Just remember that. That's who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'd had it for so long. And I waited and nothing happened. And for 3 weeks, I had no symptoms. And then some of the symptoms started coming back a little bit. But by then I had signed up for classes and I was taking them and I was learning to hone in on the craft of this. And at some point in time, and I don't even know when, I can't even tell you, but I just chipped it away and kept chipping it away till it just didn't matter anymore. It just didn't have the prominence, right? It kept going down on the list until I just didn't notice it anymore. And that's why I just had to do this.
What a powerful way of working with people. So you're basically helping them, but you're giving them tools they can do by themselves at home.
That's important.
If you learn how to do it, if you learn, you can do that. And I do give people tools that they can use. But as far as learning Theta healing, you do have to take separate classes for that. And so I actually teach classes, but the classes that I teach actually are things like trying to help people with the issues that they have so they can really hone in on them in a group environment.
Right.
So helping people heal their inner bully. And that's one of the big things that I do, or I help people with their money issues and loving themselves. And so I do a lot of classes that have to do with those topics. And then I also do one-on-one work with people.
Oh, that sounds great.
Wonderful. Now, tell everybody your website. We'll keep scrolling it across the screen.
Okay. It's thinktheta.com. So it's ThinkTheta.com.
That's great. So let's see. Who should we start with, PK? You?
Why not?
Okay.
I'm the biggest mess of the show.
Oh,
Make it my turn.
Ready. Let's get my seatbelt on here.
You better.
All right. I don't crack my neck, but I would.
oh.
Okay.
I'll do it for you.
Tell me what's going on. We're gonna play, I guess.
Oh God. Bones that don't work, bones that are disintegrating.
Oh, okay.
Osteoporosis, actually, from head to toe.
Okay.
So that's the major issue that I'm working with.
All right.
Of course, it slows me down because I can't do the things I want to do, can't walk around like I'd like to, can't drive right now. All the things you enjoy doing, I'm stuck.
Okay.
So what do I do?
Okay. So we're going to do a session and help you find out like what's at the root of this. And that's what we do. And when people come in and they have chronic issues, like things that, we want to find out like, what is the emotional root? What's the energetic root of what's going on, and heal that and see how the body responds to that. And I'm sure you're already doing things. So I just say this for everybody else. What I've learned in my lifetime is that when you do everything you can from all walks, and all areas, that's what you do to get better. And I had a personal experience, if you don't mind me talking about that for 1 second.
Not at all.
So my mother, when I was 18 years old, 17, 18, and she was about 45, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, a late stage 3, and that was in the 80s. So it was pretty much a death sentence. They said she had 18 months to live if she had had chemotherapy and 6 months without. And she did everything. And she got a double dose of chemotherapy. And then she went to like all conventional and unconventional. And she did acupressure, acupuncture. She had a psychic healer back then, which was pretty wacky. And we had therapies, every therapy you could have, she did it. And we were involved in too. And she lived another 30 years and never got a recurrence.
Fabulous. My goodness. Yeah. That's wonderful.
She was a miracle. She was the rock star of her GYN's office.
I bet so.
And yeah, I'm sure. And so and what that did for me was that made me realize that the doctor's office wasn't the only place for healing. And so I started to approach, as I became a young adult, I started to approach everything that happened to me that way. And it definitely helped me a lot. So I have to say, I'm grateful to do that. And I'm sure you're doing that. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody else out there understands that too. And so let's go on with you now. Let me see.
Okay.
So the way we're going to conduct this session is, and you can tell me how long that you want to play for, but I'm going to close my eyes. So you'll see my head just do this. And other than that, there's nothing scarier than that's going to happen. I don't turn into a werewolf until the next full moon. So it's still a while. It's still a ways away. Yeah, we have time. We've got like 28 days. So I'm going to ask you if I can come into your space, and you say yes. Everything is per your permission. Okay.
Permission.
Yeah. So there's nothing that I can do to you. These are just different forms of unconditional love that are coming to you, because like I said, we're going to marry the access to your subconscious with this divine energy. Okay. So it's just the most loving energy, the most loving perspective that you're going to get on what's going on with you. And so I will, did I get that one right? I just heard a ding. I must have gotten that answer right.
And it came from above.
Yeah, really. I don't know what's going on. So, and then I'll ask you things like, would you like, and do you like the word God or universe, or what word works for you? Inner wisdom?
I work with all of them.
Okay. So I might say something like, would you like the universe's perspective on this? Or would you like to know what you were meant to learn? Or this is coming back, and I see there's resentment around this relationship you had with your mother. Would you like to heal that? And when you say yes, that will come out, and unconditional love and understanding and compassion come back into your body. So it's out with the spinach and in with the ice cream is what I like to say. Yeah. And other than that, just finding out what are the belief systems that are going on that are helping to perpetuate this. It might be at the bottom of this. And so I'll come up with some, and you can tell me if they resonate, and then I'll just ask you if you'd like to change them. Okay.
Okay.
So that's everything. And that's for everybody else who calls too. So, all right, PK, let me come into your space. And here we go. And you may or may not feel something. And also know if I go quicker than you think, you're going, wow, she's just rattling this off. It is divine energy, and it'll come in your divine timing. Okay. So that's the cool. Yeah, that's the cool part. It comes at your speed, not mine. Okay. So let me come into your space. So let's do something. And if it's okay, everybody can say yes to all of these downloads, because it's good for everybody to have even before our big group session. And these are just the basic Theta healing downloads, and they're all about being loved and appreciated. Okay. So so it helps you, PK. This is very, very important for you. So would you like to know what God's unconditional love feels like?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'm just going to watch that. And I get a sensation, but you don't have to get one in order for this to work. That was just what I wanted. Okay. And would you like to know that you're deserving of receiving the universe's unconditional love?
Yes.
Okay. And let's show you how to and what it feels like to receive it. Is that all right?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Yay. I can feel it all the way down into the solar plexus too right now, going all the way down the body. And then let me see what else is going on here. Let's see. Joy is a big one. So would you like to know what God's joy feels like?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been a while. When you're in pain, that's hard, to feel joy all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's true.
So let's remind your body and every cell in it what joy feels like, and let you know, ooh, there you go. You know what it feels like, that you're deserving of receiving God's joy. There we go. And let you know how to and what it feels like to receive it. There we go. Nice. And here's a good one that's coming up, special with bones. It's about support, right? Right, exactly. And so let's give you the universe's definition and feeling of what support is. And that you're deserving of receiving support from the universe, and how to and what it feels like to receive it. And understand also that by doing this work, you're also opening the door to opportunities falling into your lap, so that the right solution comes to you, maybe the right doctor, the right healer, any sort of thing, the right supplement, whatever it is, that could all come to you too, because you're just opening up. All right. Would you like to know what it feels like to be a completely healthy 28-year-old person?
I sure would.
To remind everybody here. Okay. All righty. And then let's see. And would you like to know what it feels like to unconditionally love yourself from the inside out?
That would be unique. Yes.
Okay. Then that's good. Let's show you that it's safe and possible to do so. There we go. Okay. That's good. All righty. Okay. So we're starting to, I can feel all that sort of seep into your body here. And, let's do one more. And would you like to know what God's acceptance feels like?
Most definitely.
Okay, good. And let's let you know what God's self-acceptance feels like too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that you're deserving of receiving both. And how to and what it feels like to receive God's self-acceptance and God's acceptance. Mm-hmm. I always believe that the root of healing is acceptance. Like the last door to it is acceptance.
Okay.
All righty. Let's see what's going on here. So these are really old beliefs that are coming up, like old, and this could be ancestral too. Let's see. Nobody loves me. I'm unlovable. I'm unlikable. I'm nothing. I'm worthless. Remember, these are so generational too.
Mm-hmm.
My needs never matter. Nothing I ever do really works out. As I get older, my body will just continue to break down. So let's have God change them. Is that okay?
Certainly.
And anybody who wants to say yes to these, you can say yes to them. And if you have them on any level, then they will change. And that's all that's important here. And let me just say that when I said any level, that's one of the things. Theta healing works on your core level, which is everything from this lifetime, your genetic level, so all of the stuff you inherited from your ancestors, the history level, which is our past life level, and also our collective consciousness, which is so powerful right now. And then the soul level, the fourth level, is all of those, the deepest part of all of those. So this is why this work can be really powerful, because it goes so deep. Okay, so let me see. All righty. There's the first thing that's coming up is just a real restlessness and anger and frustration. So it's actually starting with the stuff that's on the top. Okay. And I always just trust you where your subconscious wants to go, because sometimes your subconscious wants to heal this before it heals any. It'll be like, no, you can't start there. You have to start here. So I'm just going to listen instead of fight.
Okay.
There's a lot of anger, right? Anger and frustration over having this condition. Mm-hmm. Really, really angry. So let's just have God heal that. Yay. And it will heal. Whatever you're ready to heal in this moment will heal. And it will also continue to work on you for the next 4 to 7 days, just so you know. Okay. To have the complete cycle of this work.
Okay.
So, okay. So, and at the same time, what's happening? Okay. I'm just going to let this go for a second here. So just anger and rage. So I feel like you're picking up pieces of furniture and throwing them across the room because you're so mad, right? It's like it's a rage. Yeah. No, it's okay. I think everybody, when they get to that anger level, they want to throw things across the room, and better metaphorically than in actuality.
Definitely couldn't lift anything these days.
Yeah, we'd have to get you a light chair, but that's okay. So there's just anger and frustration here, and I feel like you're seething, like you're, it just really makes you angry.
It's inconvenient. I don't want it.
It is, and it hurts. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Well, that too, more than anything else.
Right.
So, And so there's a lot of resentment, and there's a lot of resentment. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get a little bit deeper into this now. Is there's a resentment of your body. You're mad at your body for this happening. So is it okay if God heals the resentment you have towards your body for contracting this condition?
Certainly.
Okay. Woo. Okay. And then we're going to go into, I'll let that happen first. Okay. Woo. That's still going. I can feel that all the way down to the gut. So,
Me too.
yeah, good. So that's coming out. That's changing. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So I was trying to see that really shift around there. And let's show you in this moment what it feels like to be completely loved by Source. Okay. Very important. And that it's possible for you to live without feeling pain. How's that? It's possible and it's
That would
safe.
be fabulous.
Yes, absolutely. But like I said, and one of the things that happened when I had that anxiety was like my body got so used to being in pain that when it started coming out of it, it could kind of try to remind itself, or you could fall, you could elbow, like you could accidentally hit something. Like, ow, what happened? I was feeling good. So the part of you that's just used to being in pain, let's make sure that all this energy goes to that part of you, especially. It's possible for this pain to alleviate. And so I keep getting something around the females in your family. So I see your mother and your grandmother. So did they have any of this that you know of?
My mother dealt with cancer for a number of years, on 2 or 3 different occasions. She passed away with esophageal cancer in the end. But my grandmother, I really don't know.
Okay. So, but I feel like maybe there's, because of having something in your body that
You're right.
Yeah, dealing with some illnesses, some serious illnesses. So, and so let's let you know that it's possible for you to honor your mother and honor your grandmother and honor your ancestors without, especially your female ancestors here, without taking on their ailments or experiencing your version of what they had. How's that?
Works for me.
Yeah. So, and so one of the things that's coming up too is around struggle. So there's a lot of beliefs that a lot of us have around struggle that are ancestral, like I need to struggle to be close to God is one of them. Life is a struggle. Life is harsh. Life is hard. And then you die. And let's have God change all of these beliefs here. And this will help everybody. So everybody can say yes on these too. And, and there also seems to be a lot of burden. Where were your ancestors from?
England and Sicily.
Okay. Wow. That's very different.
Yeah. Mother and Dad even got along once in a while.
Yeah, really. That is very different cultures right there. Must have been love. That's great. Okay. So what is this? Okay. Sometimes I get a feeling and I don't get the words yet. I have to wait for the words.
I understand that.
Yeah. So it'll just be about an hour. Don't worry. Everyone could just watch me with my eyes closed, doing nothing. You might fall asleep. I might fall asleep. No one will know. No one will know.
Yeah.
So there seems to be, what is this? There is this feeling of being less than that goes way back in the line, especially the women. There's a powerlessness that's happening too. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Burdens too. Okay. So there's it's an interesting, there's 2 things that are going on all at once. And one of them is completing and finishing vows. Now vows are 24/7 promises that we either make or our ancestors make, or it's on one of those levels I was talking about before. And that means that you could be to save the world. It could be to save your family, save your loved ones. It could be really have tons of integrity and honor, even vengeance, something like that. The problem is, or it could be something else. The problem is that when we have these vows, it's almost like, when you feel overly obligated, like somebody says, oh, you have to come to my party. And you're like, oh, I just want to sit home and go to sleep. But you go and you're like, you know how it pulls that energy out of you when you're overly obligated? It's the same thing with a vow. So
That's
with
my
vows,
life.
right, there you go. Okay. So, there you go. So my life is one big vow. My life is one big obligation. Let's have got to change that. And let's complete and finish all the vows you have to be obligated to other people and their welfare and to take care of them first and to take care of your needs last and to take on the energy and emotion and experience of all your loved ones, your liked ones, all of humanity. That's what's coming up in the world. Okay. Is that okay if all of those get completed and finished?
Certainly.
Woof. And then the burden and since we're talking about taking on all that energy and emotion and experience of everybody and of the planet, let's just let you know what it feels like. That's all that energy that never belonged to you. You just sponged it in thinking I'm an empath. This is my job, either consciously or unconsciously. Let's release all of that energy from your body. Okay. And your space. Woo. Remember, unconditional love and understanding comes into to take its place, and compassion. Woo. Can feel that. Do you feel that at all, PK? You don't have to. Yeah.
No, I feel like I into a tube of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's what I'm getting. It's like I'm there. I'm grounded, but I'm unable to let go or release or move.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay.
That's great.
Awesome. Okay. And so I'm feeling all those burdens are leaving you and all of this energy that never belonged to you, because when we hold on to all this other energy, it can mess with us. And so, and resonating inside of your bones would make sense, and so it's just releasing all of that out of your body. That can go really quickly. That doesn't have to take long because it never was yours in the first place.
Good to know.
Yeah. It never was yours in the first place. And yay. Wow, I can just feel that leaving you. And let's just see here. And the burden of being overly obligated, and the burden of being obligated to everybody else except for yourself, the burden of feeling powerless. And remember, this is all lifetimes, all levels. The burden, what is this? Oh, there's another one that's really cool. It's coming. It's like this is wild. So this has got to be ancient. It's like the burden of knowing the wisdom of the earth, like ancient secrets, it says. And so, and being unable to tell people or have them understand or listen. So this is really, really old. And so that's leaving your body too. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, I just wanted to check in on time. If you want me to keep going, I would be happy to do that.
I think we need to wrap it up.
Okay. So let's just do have God do a body healing on you, PK, and everybody who wants one right now.
Yeah, we all want one. Everybody in the audience does. Definitely.
Yay. And we'll keep doing it because there'll be more issues. PK, also, I'm sure that the people who are coming on, there's going to be a crossover on some issues that'll still continue to get cleared. And in any Theta session, the body healing is at the end because you want to clear all the issues that are probably trying to hold up resistance against getting the body healing, making it more powerful. So as we do more of these things, I think more of this will start to lift off of you too. So
that would be good.
And then let's just see what happens from here. Okay.
Fine.
Awesome. How do you feel in this moment though? How do you?
I'm relaxed.
Yeah. You're in the Theta brainwave. Good.
Yeah. I just feel, spongy.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So let me ask you some questions. It was really interesting watching you work with PK, and I was watching PK's face changing as you were doing the work. So now, when you are tuning in, so you're in Theta, so you've learned how to put yourself into a strong Theta wave,
right?
And then you reach out to your client and you start to sense where they're at. So how does a typical session go? Is it for an hour? Is that what you usually do?
I usually do hour-long sessions, and some people do half an hours. I definitely usually recommend at the beginning to start with hours because people have a backstory, and then we just see what's going on, because some people really need that hour, and some people are bing bang boom, and we can get a lot done in a half an hour.
Mm-hmm. And then in order to walk people through this, like you were able to basically sense that PK also had what all of us have, that lineage that haunts us, and ancestral stuff that's like, where did that come from? I'm sure everybody's different, but how long, like how many sessions do you typically see people do to recover from all of this?
Right. Well, like I said, when you do a session, when you have a session, it's going to cycle through your theta brainwaves in the natural state, which is when you're just tipping off into sleep. So you have about 4 to 7 days to feel the full results of this, of what happens, which is kind of nice. And sometimes you get some really fun dreams in between.
Okay.
So, and then wait, what was the other part of your question?
Well, I'm not sure I had another part, but I'm just trying to get a sense of how people.
Yeah. Okay. So people work with me in different ways. Yeah. So there's people who come who use me like a therapist, as it were, and they'll come at a regular interval. They'll come once a week, they'll come once a month, whatever they want to do, because it just helps them move along in their lives. When we talk about working with people who entrepreneurs and whatever, it's like how life happens during business and how business happens during life. And so whatever comes up, we work on that.
Right.
And
makes sense.
Right. Exactly. So some people just want to come and just be regular in that sense. And then other people are really project oriented and saying things like, I'm hitting an income, ceiling, and I can't seem to get past it. Can you help me with this? And once that we do that, then they're out. Or, my relationship with my husband is not where I want it to be. I want to work on that, So people come, and then some people come and project oriented, and it's just really quickly. And it happens. Like, I'll give you an example. There's a gentleman that I worked with who was a salesman, and he was in a sales slump. And so he came to me to figure out, what caused it and what was perpetuating it, and getting to the root cause of that. And then the next week, his sales went up 400%. And the company had never seen anything like that that quickly. So things can happen that way, or we can get, kind of the long evolving growth. I'll give you one of those where I work with this remarkable woman who, I've been seeing her for a long time. She had chronic health issues, and she was starting a business. When I met her, she'd already started her business, but basically the health issues that she had were affecting her focus and her concentration and her energy. So they could really mess with you. And she was going into she was in an educational business, but she was a tutor, and she had a tutoring service, but she didn't have a formal education. So she was kind of flipped out about that. Like, oh, if I don't, people are going to find out, and it's going to be bad. And it's like, no, you're really good at something. And she was really good at teaching kids. And so she created this really great thing. And as we've been going along with, business happening with life and life happening with business, whenever she would have relapses or things would happen, she's freaked out that what's going to happen. And we work on that, or she'd have business issues, and when her health is doing well, you know what I mean? Like, we would just go back and forth, and she went from like a 6-figure to a 7-figure business. And she's still moving up. So I think she's going to get to 8. She wants to get to 8, and I think she'll get there. So because it's so people do it differently, Yeah,
exactly. But you're creating enough room so people can move. This is perfect.
Yeah.
PK, really, because it's all about movement. It's all about not being stuck anymore.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, and it's the focus as you're doing all this is obviously just on that one person. In this case, it was PK. Yeah, because we were wrapping up last show, and I said, one of the biggest problems that I see is that women especially tend to always be thinking of other people. So we have all this thought energy, and it's going out there. I mean, I was saying to somebody the other day, I wake up in the morning, sometimes I'm thinking about so-and-so. Like, they don't know I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about
Good
that.
point. Good point.
I should wake up in the morning and have my goals, my affirmations. This is what I'm creating for myself. Why am I thinking about this person? Not that it's good or bad. It's
Right,
just,
right. Yeah.
that's energy that we're wasting. It's just going out the door. So this is so helpful because the focus is all on PK. It's all on your clients.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Our audience right now is getting the benefit of all of this. And that's where it needs to be, especially as we get older and we have health concerns. We need to have our focus on ourselves.
Oh God, yes.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
cannot afford to be thinking about anybody else. I really can't.
Well, and look, we were all girls. Girls were all raised to think of everybody else before themselves, to be seen and not heard.
The way it's supposed to be, right?
In general, obviously there's many exceptions, but in general and by society, what's expected of us is to be selfless and helpful to everybody else. And then, that old thing where people would say, she was a saint. She never did anything for herself. And we're all like worshiping her. I'm like, no, poor lady. Come on.
Say, dummy.
Yeah. Well, let's have a me day.
Yes.
Necessary.
Lifetime. Yeah, it is really important. And again, the frustration, that I see for so many is they don't even know they're doing that they're wasting all that energy and giving it away to somebody who doesn't even appreciate
it.
Deserve it.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So all of that's happening. And it is women primarily, but it's also anybody who was raised in a dysfunctional family where there was a problem with alcohol or drugs or something. And that elephant room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So everything had to be focused out there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful and very easy to experience technique with Theta healing. How long was your training in this?
Well, I've been doing it for almost 21 years.
Wow.
So the trainings aren't that long. It's the practice. It's like you take a driver's ed class, is it a semester? And then you have to try before you're a real driver. And so, there's God, they were all these different 3-day classes over a period of time. I think that if you took all of the classes, and because you can do that at through Vienna Steibel, people teach the classes and then she teaches the teachers, but you can do all of that and in about 4 or 5 months get all of the trainings. It would be pretty intense to do all of them once, but you put them all together because there's people who come from all over the world if they want to come into town. She's in Montana. So, so people can do that. I just remember taking, these 3, 4, 5 day, 3-week classes and doing every one that I could. Because every class that I took, I got better at what I did because once again, you're clearing these issues that you've had.
Makes a difference.
Keeping you from moving forward, whatever way you want to move forward.
It's really, I love it because it's not really asking anything of your client except to accept unconditional love, this marriage of God and person, and letting go of anything in the way. It's really a beautiful way of working it. I'm still feeling it up here. Oh,
that's great. Yeah. Yeah. It'll keep going. It'll keep percolating.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So I just want to remind everybody to call in at 855-472-5483.
Number to someone.
Yes, sure. 855-472-5483. I know I talked to a whole bunch of people today. They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to call in. I don't know if they get shy or their dinner goes longer than they thought.
Oh, and just so you know, I know my face is starting to look like I'm on the cover of Meet the Beatles right now. But apparently what's happening is, let me see. Is that better? Oh wow, that was it. Okay, that was it.
All right.
I found it. Yay! I thought it was. I have a sun set that goes on, and sometimes it reflects up, but it was reflecting off of something else. I'm glad I figured that out. Yay!
Now, do you want her? I'm going to ask Chanel if she wants to come on next and see what you can do with Chanel. But also, what about paranormal stuff? I mean, a lot of our audience, as you know, is very fascinated with the paranormal, and they want to do things like be able to be more precognitive, remember their dreams. Can you help us with that?
Yes, if you learn how, when you learn or go into the theta brainwave, you can become a lot more psychic. I became a lot more intuitive, and you just start trusting it more. There's also you can connect and have more mediumship skills. I didn't know I had any of that. You can see into the body. And, and everybody, I always say it's sort of like if you take guitar lessons, some people after 5 months are going to be, just they sound like they've only been playing for 5 months, and then other people are virtuosos. So your own natural gifts will kick in where they go. But it's really fun. I didn't really realize that when it came on that I was going to be able to, connect with people who were, my clients, if they have relatives that have passed on. I work a lot also with people when they have grief. And so a lot of times their deceased loved ones will come in and we'll be able to talk to them. And that's really fun. Yeah, that's really fun. Or other energies will come in to help out. And I just love it. Whoever comes in, I'm happy because it's always nice, beautiful, positive energy. I'll put it to you that way.
So is the premise of Theta healing that it's simply our own resistance
that keeps us from getting what we want? Is that what you mean? I would say, yes, I would think that it's, but you could have subconscious, it's subconscious. So these things that we're not aware of that are holding us back. And, when I talked about the 4 different levels that everything's held on. So, how do you know that it's some past life that's keeping you from making money, and you have to resolve the issues from there because, you were, lived in the town where the Black Plague was, or, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many reasons. Right. Exactly. So there's so many places where something could be hiding and resolving. That's why you need to do it on all these levels, just to make sure.
It makes total sense. Years ago, and I shared this a few weeks ago on the air, I was studying with a doctor who had a new healing technique she was teaching, and she shared a story that this woman came to her office and said she was suffering from migraines. Nothing would get rid of these migraines, nothing. So Mary did the treatment on her, and basically she had to stop and say, I'm picking up on a relative long ago who was shot in the head. Any knowledge of that? She said, yes, my great-great-great-grandfather was Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, my gosh.
Thanks.
Woo!
So there you go. And so Mary finished the treatment, and the woman, as far as we know, did not have any headaches anymore. So, that is such a curious thing, how something like that can follow all the way through the lineage, and somebody gets hit with it, and they have no idea where it's coming from.
Right.
I mean,
that's the scary part.
That's something that pops into your head. Oh, my great aunt so-and-so had it, so now I'm suffering from it. But that happens a lot, right?
Well, yeah. And we know through epigenetics now that it's accepted. It's been accepted that, you carry your ancestors' traumas, and you don't have to, and that it's really stress that activates a gene. It could activate a gene. So you could have heart disease in your family and not keel over when you're 42 from a heart attack. But if you have a certain amount of stress and it wakes up that gene, then that could be you. So we used to believe, at least they used to believe in medicine, that whatever was in your genes was in your genes, and that's it. You can't help it. But now they know you actually can. You can turn genes on and you can shut them off. And so I believe that this work can do that energetically also.
I have one more question for you before we bring Chanel into the mix here. What about animals?
Oh, I work with animals too. They're fun.
Okay. So give me some examples. Give us all some examples, because we're big animal lovers here. Our audience.
Oh, you love animals.
We are. So what have you found happens with animals with this?
I'll tell you a great story. So right around when I started doing this work, I had this cat friend who, when I lived in that famous apartment I was talking about, and he used to come around, and he was just, he was underneath the apartment, and he hung out there for like 6 months. He was about 6 months old, and he would come by, and he'd come and he was just the greatest cat. And so all of a sudden I hear him meowing outside my door. And so I open the door, and he's sitting there on the mat, and he's not moving, and he's going meow, meow, meow. And I'm thinking, come in, just get in, right? But he doesn't move. And I'm like, oh, wait. And one of his legs is just out, and he won't move. It doesn't look out of it just looks, it's sticking out and it's not doing anything. So I'm like, oh. And so he starts trying to get in and with his front paws. And so I'm like, oh, something happened to him. So I called my friend who was a little bit more experienced than I was at the time. And she just sort of walked me through it. And what we did was, and she just kind of called it out, and I did the work on him and was reminded him, just did all this energy work on him. And animals are so wonderful this way. They just take it in. They're so accepting. And he started kind of perking up a little bit. And then we did this one download, which was remember what it felt like to be a kitten. And he literally hopped up and hopped back down and started walking around and then cleaning himself. And he was done. He was ready. And I couldn't believe what I saw, because at that point, here's this cat that I love. And I'm like, I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just like, okay, here, I do that. Okay, here I go, and he took it. I've worked with, so many animals where they've had, kidney issues, and cats have a lot of kidney issues and help them with that. Dogs with, I had this one dog who was having, it was intestinal, because sometimes they'll eat something, right? Dogs don't tell you that they ate something, and they ate like a watch or whatever it is. They don't tell you. And so this one had a little kink, at least the way I saw it, intuitively. They didn't know exactly what was going on, and hit a kink in his intestine, and we were able to. And he was just in so much pain, and he could barely go to the bathroom. And I just started working on that and showing him. And you do with animals, you show them pictures, because that's the way they work. They don't work as much with words. And so just what it would look like to allow, like that little intestine thing to kind of undo and open up. And he started, he felt better, and he started going. He walked out, and he went to the bathroom and started feeling better. And so some of them are really quick. Some of them are like, I've helped animals pass away if they need to help pass. And they just, I don't know, I've had a lot of different really wonderful experiences with animals, because like I said, they don't have the resistance but I will always ask if they want to die, because sometimes they just want to pass. And you will just help them with that. And what my teacher talked about, what Vienna talked about, was that sometimes death is the healing. Because, and animals, like I said, animals they're fine with dying. They're like, okay, I'll do it. They might get scared. Like cats like to hide. A lot of cats like to hide like under something, or they'll go somewhere far away, and they'll, because they don't want to do that around loved ones. So, but yeah, I've helped them live, and sometimes help them pass away. And also you got to help the owners, because the owners are the ones that are,
suffer
the issue. And the animals soak in all of that energy.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Well, and I'm seeing a lot of pets coming, either being misdiagnosed by vets, which is always horrible. Yeah. Or I'm also seeing a lot of congenital things, and I'm also seeing a lot of things like Cushing's disease. There didn't used to be a lot of cases of Cushing's disease.
Wow.
And now they're increasing exponentially. And so I think there's so much to be said for the work you do, because you may get to the very bottom of some of these things where traditional veterinary just can't do it.
No.
Can't identify it most of the time, not most of the time, some of the time, know how to treat this. So I think this is a very valuable, very valuable technique to use. And I'm so glad to hear that it's
definitely.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So do they need to be like on the Skype call, or how do you do that with people who are far away?
I talk to people. I do a lot of phone, and then some people want to do Zoom. I usually do Zoom. I don't do Skype anymore, because my Skype doesn't work too well. But I do Zoom, and
you can see the pet.
Right. So, but I mostly do phone, and then I have in person. I have an office too, so people can come and see me live and in person.
So, Chanel, just let us know that we had a question from this lady or man, I'm not sure. It's Cutie. Wants to know if she should pursue art for a living. It's not quite the kind of thing we're talking about right now, but
Oh, to bring in. Oh, okay. So bring in. So Cutie is Cutie or is Cutie on the line? Is that what's happening?
No, she's in the chat. Excuse me.
Okay, so she doesn't want to. Okay, so Cutie, is it okay if I come into your space and we can help you figure that out? I'm going to say yes. I realize you're on a text, but oh, yes, I heard yes. I see yes right there. Okay, so Cutie, let me come into your space.
She's there.
There we go. And okay, so you want to know if you should pursue, yes, please. Okay. If you should pursue art. I want to do a little bit of let's give you the universe's insight into that. What's in your highest and best? We always say with grace and ease and the most benevolent outcome, so we cover all of our
That's nice.
our bases.
Well covered.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So let's give you an idea of. I'm assuming this means that Cutie, that you love art and but all the messages about pursuing it have gotten to you. So let's what is it? Art is a hobby, right? Instead of a career. I'll never make it in art. I'm not good, and I'll never be good enough. I can't say not, because in this work, your subconscious doesn't understand not or don't, anything with a contraction in it. So I'll never be talented enough to do this. One of the biggest beliefs people usually have is I'm never enough in general too. So let's have Source change all of those beliefs and show you what it feels like also to trust your gut. And so this is the interesting place. And this comes back, PK, to what we were talking about with you too, was that when we give of ourselves all the time and we put ourselves at the bottom of the list, which means we're breaking promises with ourselves, right? And when we were taught that's the promise you can do, and that's okay. You can break that promise. That's okay. Anybody else? So let's first complete and finish all the vows to keep all your promises, because you don't want that there, because when you break that vow, then everyone goes, ah, and you feel like you've really failed. And also there's a feeling of disappointment and letdown when you break promises to yourself, which eventually brings you to this place of losing faith in yourself and losing faith in life and losing faith in the ability for you to create the life that you want. Okay, so we're going to start with the top of that, which is healing that disappointment and letdown. So this is for everybody that you've experienced from breaking promises with yourself. There we go. Nice. All righty, there we go. And then, and also there's a profound disappointment in humanity. I know this sounds like we're going global, but we are, and I'm just going to trust it. Okay, so let's just have Source just heal all of that profound disappointment in humanity. There we go. And yay. Remember, this will keep working on you too, so don't worry about that. And then this feeling of losing faith in yourself. And so let's heal that, to have God heal the faith that you've lost in yourself, especially because of this. And that's sort of kissing cousins with losing trust in yourself, right? Let's heal that too. Wow, I can feel that right in the solar plexus and the heart. There we go. And show you what it feels like to trust yourself completely, to trust your gut completely, and know that a mistake is really a mistake, and that it's possible for you to learn from your mistakes without taking them personally. Okay, show you that's possible and it's safe too. Yeah, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We're always ready to say that for everybody else, aren't we?
Of course.
Oh, honey, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And you yourself and you're like, oh my God, that was me. I can't fail.
Right.
Yeah.
So
beat yourself all the way up the stairs.
Yeah, and down the stairs, every which way, right?
Yes.
And so let's complete and finish all the vows to parent yourself by beating yourself up. This is what I deal with in my inner bully classes. This is the way we try to guide ourselves or actually misguide ourselves, right?
Mm.
There we go.
Yep.
Beautiful. I'll never amount to much is coming in here, so I've got to change that too. Who knew, cutie? Look what you're opening up for everybody. This is amazing. Everyone can say yes to this. These are good
Yes,
group
you
healings.
can. Let's
Yeah.
change reality.
Amazing how that is.
Okay. And now just bringing in that insight now and saying what feels right, what resonates with you, what's the highest and most loving message you can get about whether or not it's time for you to pursue art. And remember, and there's two sides of this, right? Society will say, don't pursue art. It's not a career. And then the other side of it is, if I do art, it has to be my career. And so let's just have the universe let you know that you can have both, right? You can be a doctor and paint. You can be a dancer and be an accountant if you want, like whatever it is. Mick Jagger has a master's in economics, right? In business school.
Yeah.
So
Didn't know that.
He tailored curates all their deals, and so right. So he's a rock star. We like to say he's a rock star and an accountant. Although I don't know that it's accounting. It might just be
something like
business degree. Yeah. But he's using different parts of his brain. And he did all right.
Yeah. Well, King Charles, he's quite an artist.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
One he was born into and the other one he was born into. Yeah. So it's possible to have, instead of this either or situation, that you can have both and know that that's possible and safe to do both if you'd like. And just have them in your life in a way that's truly meaningful for you.
Right. So a lot of the things that you find for everybody, like for Cutie right now, you're finding these things to help her or him release and, again, get that reconnection to the God self where all things are possible all of the time. Yeah, that's total freedom. So this is a good technique for offering.
Yeah, it is. Because I can say, oh, I sense this or that. But it feels like for Cutie that Cutie wants to know for herself.
Right.
I can say one thing, but when it comes down to it, you have to resonate with the answer.
You do.
I can say absolutely do it or no. And but you really have to absolutely resonate with the answer. So you can actually, Cutie, if you'd like to, is do something. There's a great technique where you go into your future self and you just go into your future self of all your needs are met. And PK, this is really wonderful for you too, is to go into your future self where you're living pain-free. Okay. And you go into that state because that is going to be the frequency of the solution, right? You're going into the frequency of the solution so you can attract it in instead of staying in the frequency of the problem, which is what we tend to do. And wallow there. So more symptoms of the problem come to us. And so if you walked around as this artist who is making her money this way, then and see what that feels like, and then see what it feels like to have, like we said, this hybrid of have all this time to express your art and have another career also. Like, play with it and just go into that and spend like 3 to 5 minutes. You can always do it like a walk, future self walk, and just walk around and go, look at me, I got it. How does that feel? Does that resonate with you? And go from there.
There's apparently a lot of science now that's backing that up with imagining yourself in the future pain-free, which is a wonderful thing to imagine. And then it creates two separate photon experiences that finally merge.
Right.
So but they found this in the science, it backs it up, that this is definitely the way to do it. And any ruminations of the past and going over all those things is not really that helpful. So, bringing people forward like that, imagining pain-free, and what a relief that is. That brings you right into it. It's great.
That
Hmm.
Joe Dispenza says that a thought sends a signal out and a feeling brings it back in, right?
Yeah, right.
And so when you're in that space where you're emanating, and you don't even have to emanate for too long, when you're experiencing pain, then, don't you find, PK, that sometimes you're out of it and then you're in it and then you're out of it and then you're in it?
Most definitely.
Right. So there's times where, because your focus is somewhere else, you don't feel anything. And then there's other times where if you're not doing anything, that's all you do is feel.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and so as you get, so if you spend more time in that other place where you're just doing the things you want and you can feel that everything feels right. I'm sorry, my throat just got a little dry, but I'm going to take some water for a second.
Go
By
ahead.
all means, please.
And
That's good energy coming in through here. It's good.
hi to Pamela, who said hello to us. It's her first time on visiting us on the show. And I wanted to ask you, if you're wrapped up with Cutie, if we can move on to a couple of things.
Mhm.
One is
Absolutely.
you and I want you to meet Chanel. So I think we have time to do a little bit here with me and some time with Chanel before we
I
have.
think that's an excellent idea.
So
I'm ready.
yeah. So one of the things you and I had discussed prior to the show is I brought this up a couple times, that there's a UFO experience abduction in my childhood, more than one. I have some pieces I would like to get through the block to get the rest of the story. So something's in my way. And
Okay.
I'd love to work with you for a few minutes, and then we'll
Sure.
move to Chanel.
Okay, I'm coming into your space if that's okay.
Yes.
All right.
And this can work for anybody, so you can all join in with me who has
Right, exactly.
any
Definitely.
memories that are
Mhm.
buried or things they want to remember. Feel free to join.
Right. So the first thing that comes to me is that everything's going to be okay. And that whatever these memories are for you, you have to remember at this point, they already happened. And so just like if you remember a time, if you broke your leg or your ankle or some sort of thing happens that at this point in time, it might hold some energy for you. But other than that, there's you're safe now, is what I'm getting. So that's the most important thing. And because having an experience like that, and having the memory of an experience like that, your subconscious doesn't know, your nervous system doesn't know the difference, right? It
Yes.
thinks that's what right with what is it with athletes, you imagine you're going down the ski slope and your system feels like it's doing it. It's a type of rehearsal. So let's just let your inner child understand this already happened, and it happened a long time ago, and that she's safe now and that you're safe now. Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me. First dry throat on an interview. Glad I can be with people I love.
It's my Arizona desert doing it to you.
There you go. All
Those
you PK.
Arizona wins. Yes.
Yeah,
right.
really. So, okay. So just first letting you know that it's safe for you to remember that, and show your body and your nervous system the difference between having a memory and having an experience, and being in the experience in the moment, and show you that it's okay to know what it feels like to be in the moment now. Okay.
Okay.
Instead of then, because if you're in the moment now and you're able to remember, you can know that you're safe, because it's almost like you're looking at it and there's like a glass in front of you, so that you're completely protected from whatever the experience was. And because mostly those kinds of things are, I'm somewhere, where am I, what's going on, what's happening, and it's out of the realm of the norm.
Yes.
And just like anyone who's no longer in control of their fate in that moment, let's heal that powerlessness and that chaos that you felt.
Yes. Let's heal that.
So, and that inability to process this, And that it's okay to just be in acceptance that it happened. All acceptance is saying those two words, it happened. Okay.
Okay.
And that's it. And that it doesn't change anything about who you are. But let's also let you know what you were meant to learn from it. And all of the vows of secrecy you had because you couldn't say anything to people because they would think you're crazy. Let's have God complete and finish all of those, okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so that helps you feel free to tell people or not to tell people, whoever it is,
Yes.
Or,
right.
we should have, and let's give you God's discernment to know when it's right and right for you to share.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Whee. Woo, I can feel that changing in your body though. And just all that fear that you had is healing, all that fear and the trauma of it and the shock of it. There we go. Thank you. I think it's actually the shock more than the trauma.
I think you're right.
That's what it feels like. And so let's just have Source heal all that shock for you. And let you know that it's safe for you to go into your body and it's safe for you to be in your body and in the world.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. So I can start to feel that leave, that's changing. That's what I'm feeling. It just changing. And she's feeling more grounded and that it's okay for her to know what happens. It's okay for you to know what happened now that you're learning what you're meant to learn from it. And also helping other people who've had these experiences because these people were separated and alienated, right? And yeah, and the minute that story got out, right, they're considered unstable.
That's true.
So let's just let you know it's okay for you to remember, and if you'd like to dream about it, or if you'd like it to be during waking hours that you find,
Mm-hmm.
that the images can come back to you safely and easily and benevolently.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the word that came up. And so that you can piece this together for yourself, because for you right now, where you are and what you do, look how it's informed your life, right? Look at this wonderful way that you've taken your experiences into here, and so, that would have happened anyways, but you wouldn't have had to come here, but you've taken this to become a really force of good in the world and helping people and creating a community of people who have had like experiences, who have similar beliefs, and you've created a safe space for these people, for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good deed.
Yay.
It is. It's a big, good deed here.
We're doing well, PK.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah, you did all right. You turned out okay, kid.
We're in good shape for the shape we're in.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So just feeling that opening up for you. Okay. All right. That feels open now.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like you're ready to receive.
Great. Well, I will keep you posted and everybody on progress with this and how we've opened the door safely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Through intact. So I'm all for it. Yeah. That's great. Thank you. I could feel it. It's interesting because when you were working on me, I could, like, PK also felt physical.
Yeah, it was a strange sensation.
Yeah.
It's enough that you're not pretending.
Yeah.
Right.
You really sense things moving through the nervous
I think it's a common experience to when you're doing this work too, is this happening? Is it a suggestion? Am I doing this? Am I not?
Exactly.
I'm like, yes, it is a suggestion. And you're agreeing to the suggestion. And it's opening you up to feel something and to perceive something and release it and receive it. So yes, it's all of those things. It's just a different feeling than we're not usually in a waking sleep wave.
Right.
Children are from 0 to 7.
Right.
That builds the foundation. That's why our childhood is so powerful, because whatever your parents said, whatever the kid next door said to you, whatever happened to you, you were from this place of, if somebody mistreated you, right, that meant that there's something wrong with me.
There wasn't power, that was fear.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's what's so great, with this, is you can get to that deep space and change it.
This is wonderful. I really feel a shift and a change, and I feel all tingly all over. It's not
yeah.
It's the tingling from the energy that
definitely
just shared. It's really beautiful. Oh my God. Well, I encourage people to call you and contact you and reach out to you. This is a wonderful way to heal. It really is. It really is. So anyways, okay, Chanel, it's your turn. We have the most lovely, talented producer who you met tonight. Chanel.
We love her to death.
We do. We adore her, and she's here. And so let's see, Chanel, what do you want to work on?
Well, thank you so much for getting me on the show. I really appreciate you making time and space for me. It's really generous. I've been listening this whole time, and I think that you've covered some beautiful grounds and different varieties of things that everyone can apply to their lives. And I think for me personally, that I think a lot of other people could benefit from is some grief release. I read in your bio that you have that. So if you'd be willing to do that for me, I think that would be amazing.
Is it okay if I ask you, is there anybody in particular that you're processing their death right now and that you'd like to share? You don't have to.
No, absolutely. I lost my grandmother in December. And I know that grief is a long process for some. So it's still a little bit fresh, but yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't. What is it? January, February, March, April, May. So 5 months. Yeah.
So, only a few months.
Right in it's right in there. Okay. Yeah. And there's a few things that are coming right now. If it's okay, I'm coming into your space here, Chanel.
Absolutely.
So, okay. So coming in, grief is as you know, it's a very powerful emotion that we have. Why does everybody grieves? Everybody grieves. And there's not anyone who hasn't been touched by it,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very true.
And unless, you were born, and you died right when you were born, everybody else has it. So it's such an experience. It's so profound. And it's one of those things that, that people will run as far as they can away from it because it feels so unpleasant. But every time you cry, I just want to say you're saving your life, and you're saving your body, and you're saving your mind, and you're saving your soul. So know that your job right now is to grieve. Doesn't mean you have to grieve every second at all. I will tell you, and I will share with you, 10 months ago, my father passed away. So, and that was a remarkable experience. And I'm going through that too. So I understand, and I've been there and lost my grandparents. So I know what that feels like too. And they are usually a source of a lot of unconditional love. Would that be true here?
It's hard to say. I know that my grandmother and I had a bit of a rocky relationship.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, she was one of my primary caretakers throughout my life. So she was more of a mother figure.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
You know how that goes, having heads with your parents and such growing up.
Yeah. That's different. She wasn't your grandmother. She was just by title, but she was was your mother.
Absolutely.
And so, right. Yeah. So that is different. And let me say that as you can see, when you have complicated relationships with people, that they continue when they pass, because now it's your job to resolve it, and because you can't not resolve it, even though they're physically not here. So just so you know that your energetic relationship with her will continue. Okay. And that it's still, and from what I'm getting from her is that she still wants to work it out with you. And she keeps saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So that's one of the things I'm seeing. How did she pass away?
She died in the hospital of pancreatitis.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you weren't sure that was going to happen, and it happened?
Yeah, it was pretty sudden. It happened over the span of 2 weeks.
Wow.
She was fine one moment, made a Sunday dinner, and a few days later we I got the phone call. So
Oh, wow. That she was in the hospital and then that she passed?
correct. Well, that she was in the hospital, and they were awaiting to do surgery until the pancreatitis subsided a bit, and she was discharged to an outpatient hospital, like a rehab, and she passed shortly after.
Yeah.
Okay, so post the surgery.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So pancreas is about sweetness of life and being unable to process the sweetness of life. So if you have blood sugar issues and things like that, it's a place you could be challenged. And that she was challenged. And yeah, I feel like she was kind of pessimistic. I could feel that butting heads thing going on here. And that you locked horns a lot, and that she was very willful. And so are you, right?
Very much.
Okay, cool. So you both willful. So there's a lot of the locking horns thing. So how about this? Is it okay if we unlock the horns?
Absolutely.
Now that it's okay. So all the vows you had when we were talking about these eternal promises, and you could have had this with her in a past life or something's going on. All the vows to be in a battle with her for eternity. Yeah, these are old. Let's have Source complete and finish those, okay? And also let you. And so I get a feeling that you're really independent and strong.
Very much so.
Okay, and I feel like she was very willful, so she was strong. So you both have stubborn. So stubborn is a great thing. We don't often talk about stubbornness as something that's a virtue, but there's great qualities in stubbornness, because then nobody can tell you, when you have a dream, you'll ignore everybody else when they tell you you're crazy, right? So there's places where stubbornness really works, or they say, no, don't do that, and it's going to be bad for you, and you do it, and it was good for you, So there's just certain places that you don't sway yourself because you really feel in alignment with that. But let's also, I don't want to excuse everything I just said or discount it in any way. Let's have Source complete and finish all the vows you have to stay stubborn in order to become successful, and for all the other reasons, so that you can still have that inner strength, okay? And to understand what you want and what you don't want, and what resonates and what doesn't resonate, okay?
Okay.
Without keeping stubborn for stubborn's sake.
Right.
Because what I feel like there's also in here is, don't tell me what to do, right? Don't you, excuse me, do not tell me what to do.
Yes.
Okay, so when that happens, right, the curtains turn red. And that's all you see. You're like, ah. So let's just have, if that's okay with you, complete and finish all the vows to say stubborn and know the difference between being stubborn and strong. Okay.
Absolutely.
There we go. And show you that strength is going to help you more than stubbornness.
Right.
Because it's the strength inside of stubbornness that kind of, does that.
Right.
But the stubbornness there may be times where somebody tells you what to do and it really is the right thing. And so that you can have the capacity to hear it and let it allow it to resonate with you, right? If somebody tells you to jump out of a burning building because you're only one step above, and you can say, don't tell me what to do is not the good time for that. We want to, that's a good idea. Here, why don't you do that? Put on a wet blanket. Yes, I will do that. Thank you. Okay, so there's just times where it really does help to listen and show you what those times are and give you the discernment, give you the universe's discernment to know when that is, okay? Because that's a lesson she didn't quite learn either.
Right.
And so you're learning it right now is very important, because then it helps you evolve further so that you can feel and experience more joy and expand. And that's what's happening right now. God wants to just expand your capacity for joy here.
Oh,
And this is the gift of having a challenging relationship, because some of her qualities, you mirrored some of her qualities, not all of them. It's some of them, right?
absolutely. Well, Karen, I hate to
Yep.
interject here, but we only have roughly a minute and a half left of the show.
Okay.
Oh
So
gosh.
I
Okay.
want too fast.
I want to
Okay. So let's,
so much.
should we just, okay. So let me just let you understand and teach you what you were meant to learn from this relationship. How's that from God's perspective? So
Yeah.
that you can continue on this energetic dialogue with her, which means talk to her out loud, go on walks, talk to her, ask her to come into your dreams. Okay. So you can talk and get a hug if you want one. Okay.
Well, thank you so much,
You're
Karen.
welcome.
And
You're welcome.
ladies, thank you for having me on the show. With just a minute left, I'll let the three of you discuss what you need to. And thank you again.
Chanel. This is
Not enough time to talk about you, Chanel.
I know. Thank you for coming on the show. This has been absolutely
Thank you,
delightful,
Sharon.
and I'm very grateful to Bill and to Chanel to extend the show tonight. We
Right.
needed every second of it. We could have gone on more to talk with Chanel and other people too. But thank you. This is delightful. It's powerful. And everybody, Karen Abrams, you need to reach out if you would like some help in your life with breaking down blocks and being free. So
Definitely.
we have to have you back. That's all.
I would love to come back anytime. You tell me, I will be here with bells on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. It was a delight to work with you tonight.
Thank
Oh, well,
Really
you're
Very
so
interesting.
welcome. And I
Yes.
want to hear what happens. Okay.
Oh,
So you
we'll
gotta
be
tell
back
me.
with you
Okay.
for
Oh, you will.
sure.
Okay, good. I want to know.
Everybody, we'll be back next week with another great show. And until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.